Hello and welcome to this special live where we are discussing the big shake-up that has taken place in Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party has managed to dislodge the Bharatiya Janata Party at the municipal level after 15 years of ruling at the municipal level in Delhi. It is the Aam Aadmi Party which has managed to win the MCD elections. Well, what does it mean for the Bharatiya Janata Party as well as the Aam Aadmi Party? We will be discussing all this with my colleagues. We have with us Sukriti Vats, who was there. She was on ground trying to understand the campaign of the Aam Aadmi Party. We have Unnati Sharma, who also closely followed the campaign by the BJP. At the same time, we have our political editor, Singh. We will all try to decode the MCD election and what does it mean for Delhi as far as MCD election and the future assembly elections of Delhi are concerned. Sukriti, I'll start with you. You had followed the AAP campaign quite closely, yes, and you had interacted with a lot of residents. What was the atmosphere like? What were the issues and why do you think people have voted for the Aam Aadmi Party?
Okay, at the outset, it seemed that sanitation was the key issue. The 3 mountains of the garbage all around the city, they had targeted BJP over that, and the increasing height in the last 15 years, they called it an example of the corruption by the BJP.
So, Sukriti, when you are saying mountains, you have to explain to our viewers, yes, who are not from Delhi. What are the mountains?
So I meant the landfills. We have 3 landfills.
Sites.
And side. They're mountainous, like as in they're as big as the hills. So they also flagged like a van in the first phase of the campaign, and these vans had a very mini replicas of the landfills. So it was a very, I would say, powerful imagery that they had used. But later in the second phase, when the Jan Samvads began, and they had held hundreds of Jan Samvads all throughout the through the
People's
campaign.
dialogue.
Yes. So in these people's dialogues, they talked about the Delhi model. So the important thing in the election became the Delhi model, which was what Kejriwal did in the Delhi government, what he did for the government schools, the free electricity, water, free bus travel for the women, and all of them became an important issues to such an extent that they said, don't ask us for the candidate's name. Don't ask who is fighting from up. Just think about the work that Kejriwal had done.
And
the
double engine promise.
The double engine promise. They said, when so you had BJP in the center, but you had BJP in MCD, but still they didn't have funds. They still could do that. So their double engine sarkar was a failure. So This time, give us a chance, and we will show how the double engine sarkar would work.
Okay. Unnati, you followed, you went to these slum clusters, which generally it is said that, there are a huge vote bank in Delhi. And at the same time, they have played a crucial role as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's assembly performance is concerned. What was it like on the ground? We know that, the Aam Aadmi Party candidates have done well in slum clustered areas. But what was the mood like?
So Neelam, adding up to what Sukriti has said, that the talk about Delhi model. So in the slum areas, you could see that the voters tended to incline towards the Aam Aadmi Party, and especially women voters, because I spoke to a lot of women residents of slum and unauthorized colonies.
Right.
They were happy with the freebies, for example, the bus fare. A lot of people said that, if somebody is earning 10,000 a month and then they have to spend something on travel also. So the free bus helps them, and that helps them save money. Free bus ride for women. So that's one issue. And then there was also some discontentment towards, especially from slum residents, towards inflation and increased gas cylinder prices. So they were talking about that also. So somewhere these issues are not directly related to MCD, but in the minds of voters, that line kind of blurred. So that definitely affected the psyche of the voters from the slum areas. And and I also visited the Bhumihin camp in Kalkaji, where
the center had allocated these houses.
The free flats were given to these people, and even they were not entirely sure if they wanted to go for BJP, because
the benefit that they were getting from the Aam Aadmi Party sort of outweighed that. Yeah. Well, in the course of this live, we will be taking questions. The first question has come for you, DK sir. Sankalp wants to know, he's one of our members. He wants to know, will BJP see this as a silver lining? They'll get a chance to groom Delhi leadership. Congress gave up Delhi as well as Gujarat. Is India's oldest party shifting to Mars to fight elections?
First of all, when he's talking about lessons for the BJP here.
Yes, the leadership.
Now we are discussing Neelam. No, BJP would rather be satisfied with the results because they were not expecting to go beyond even 70 wards.
Right.
And they have crossed the three-digit figure now. Then, look, 126 is the majority mark, the corporation. AAP has, of course, crossed it. Right now, because counting is still in progress, but AAP is likely to get about 134 to 135 wards.
They've already crossed 136.
Which is the final result.
Yeah.
Now, from majority to that figure, you have, 10 more MLAs, 8 more councillors. And as we discussed, there is no anti-defection law as such.
Which is applicable.
Which is applicable against these councillors if they decide to switch their loyalty.
Right, during the mayor's election.
During the mayor's election. Now, right now, maybe the BJP, we don't know, but BJP may not want to disturb them at this stage because, they have been, the AAP has got a mandate from the people here.
Right.
So, right now may not be, although I'm not very sure. But
might not be apt.
But to turn the table, say, a month later, 6 months later, 1 year later, won't be very difficult for the BJP. Because BJP, if it's around 104, it needs 20-25 councillors.
Right.
No big deal. I mean, they have got dozens of MLAs from different parties to break
Congress
ranks.
has also won 9 or 10.
Anti-defection law was applicable. Here, when this law is not applicable, getting 25 councillors from the other side, some from the Congress, some from the AAP, it's not a difficult job for the BJP if it wants to turn that mandate.
Right.
Now or probably a few months later. So that's there for BJP. First, BJP has done much better than they expected. Secondly, as you were pointing out, so I can tell our viewers on your behalf, the BJP has managed to hold on to its core vote bank in the national capital.
It got 39% vote share.
In South Delhi, for instance, where we talk about upscale localities, BJP has done pretty well. AAP has done pretty well in localities with the low income group people, where Aam Aadmi parties or the Delhi government's freebies like free water, free electricity, they were getting that. And those people have voted for the AAP overwhelmingly. So there are two ways of looking at it. First is, it's another vote of confidence for the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi for its schemes. But the other way to look at it is also that BJP has not lost its ground that way. After 15 years also, after 15 years of your reign in
its
the
core
MCD,
voters,
if you have managed to get 104, 105 seats in the MCD, which has 250 wards, it's quite a creditable performance, I would say.
At the same time, I would just like to add that Adesh Gupta, for instance, who's the state Delhi BJP president, he has actually officially said that anything is possible in politics, and during mayor's election, people can vote the way they want. If they like our candidate, why can't they vote for us? So, just to add to that. At the same time, another member, Aditya, wants to know, do you think Delhi BJP needs a dynamic leader? Someone of personality like Annamalai and Gautam Gambhir? Can they sort of give the much required boost to BJP in Delhi?
I think, Neelam, you should answer that question. But first, my take would be that, BJP has been missing a dynamic leader in Delhi.
Right.
Not just here at the, in the assembly election, for instance. They have been trying. Especially after, you don't have Madanlal Khurana, you don't have somebody like Sahib Singh Verma, who were big, tall leaders here. You brought in Sushma Swaraj as Chief Minister for a while, but that didn't click. And after that, after that, you have been changing your faces.
Right.
Experimenting with different faces. It hasn't really worked. BJP does have some dynamic MPs here.
Right.
I think the party needs to groom some of them.
Well, Aditya, who is the member, he's mentioned Gautam Gambhir. Just would like to add to that if you look at the performance of the MPs, of course, we are yet to analyze the complete data, but initial reports suggest that, in his constituency, the BJP has done quite well. At the same time, overall, Northeast and East Delhi have performed better, whereas West Delhi, New Delhi Lok Sabha constituency, it has not been able to perform as it did in 2017. As far as leadership issue is concerned, this is an issue that the BJP at the central level has been trying to resolve, but so far it hasn't been able to. There is a section among the BJP which feels that young leaders like Gautam Gambhir, even Pravesh Verma, they should be sort of groomed, and you need to have a face in Delhi to counter the Aam Aadmi Party. It cannot be Modi all the time. At the municipal level, you cannot have Prime Minister Narendra Modi, contesting on your behalf. As far as BJP's campaign was concerned, something which Unnati also wrote about, that even in Delhi, they had to ultimately showcase the work done by the centre and PM Modi. So how long will that continue? I mean, at the state level, it has been going on, but if it comes down to the municipal level, that means that there is definitely something wrong as far as the leadership issue is concerned. But I would just like to, give you some figures. There was a question on vote share also. So if we look at the BJP's vote share so far, it is around 39%. The Aam Aadmi vote share is around 41%. If we look at 2017, BJP had got around 36, Aam Aadmi Party 26, and Congress 21. So a question from our a member who also wants to know that how do these vote percentage criteria work? In last MCD elections, AAP vote share was high, but their seats were very less. This time their vote share is again same or similar. Will they be able to form the government?
Well, that's a big question. Will the BJP be able to form the government if BJP wants? Well, it's a very, it's quite doable for the BJP given its record in different states.
Right.
But big question is, will the BJP like to do it now? Because people have just given this mandate to the Aam Aadmi Party. Would you like to actually snatch it away from the AAP?
But at the same time, sorry to interrupt, but at the same time, the Aam Aadmi Party has started pitching itself as that, the country's smallest party has defeated the biggest party. So, this is the kind of narrative that they're building. How do you see the Aam Aadmi Party taking this forward as far as other states are concerned? We have seen Punjab, we have seen Delhi, they have been trying to do, their bit in Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. What does it mean for them?
Let's see what happens tomorrow when you're, especially in Gujarat. Because AAP has gone all the way this time. In Gujarat, massive campaigning, very high octane campaigns by top AAP leadership.
Right.
If they manage to, I'm not even talking about the number of seats. So Aam Aadmi Party, at least the other day I was discussing the scenario. Like the best scenario is, of course, if they defeat the BJP in Gujarat, which looks very highly unlikely given not just exit poll results, but also by what we saw on the ground. They may become a national party because they are already a state party in 3 states. They have to become a state party in another state.
Right.
And then they become a national party. But to become a state party, you need to have at least 6% of votes and 2 MLAs in that assembly. So if AAP manages to get that in Gujarat, it will become a state party in Gujarat too, and that will make it a national party. Technically. But then this is not what AAP is looking at. I mean, that's the least AAP would expect from Gujarat's results. If it is able to secure even 12% vote, 13% votes. Now, how it progressed in Punjab? Of course, Punjab was gifted to the AAP by the Congress also. But again, in Punjab in 2017, they became the principal opposition party, replacing the Akali Dal. This may not be the scenario in Gujarat, but if they get anything around 10%, 15% in Gujarat, they may claim to become a challenger, having defeated the BJP in the national capital,
right,
and securing these many votes and seats in Gujarat. They will actually that will help the AAP leadership to basically build on that narrative that we are the principal challenger nationally.
Unnati, this is what the BJP leaders have so far been telling me, that, in constituencies that have a number of slum clusters, and they gave example of Govindpuri where the flats were allocated, Sangam Park, they have managed to win those wards. So they are saying that this, the allocation of these flats, if it would have taken place 6 months earlier, then the impact would have been much more greater. You were on the ground when you interacted with these people, the slum dwellers. What did they had to say about the BJP or Prime Minister Modi? Do you think this was a major factor in their head when they were going, when they were planning to vote for a party?
So, well, I did ask this question to slum dwellers, and not just in Govindpur, but other areas as well. Like, for example, I went to Timarpur slums, which is also closer to the resident of Arvind Kejriwal, where people were not entirely convinced from what they expressed. They said that we will believe this when we will get the keys ourselves.
Right.
So that's one reason that I feel that in a majority of these residents, they were entirely not sure of whether they will
get it or not.
Yeah.
Because there are other similar projects that are in the pipeline. So had they handed them over like some ownership documents or something, that would have given them the confidence that yes, this is happening for real.
And even in Govindpuri, when I interacted with a couple of people who already got the key, but they said that we will believe that we have got the flat when we shift there.
Right.
So that's also...
Well, this is a question that Aditya has asked. He's a member. So, Aditya, we've already answered your question. Another question for you, DK sir. Sankalp wants to know, Kash Vlog wants to know, is it too early to say that Kejriwal is challenger to Modi in 2024? Aam Aadmi Party lacks the clarity in ideology and lacks machinery and mechanics of grassroots workers. An organization like the BJP has. So how will Kejriwal tackle this in 2024 as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned, and if he really wants to win a lot of parliamentary seats?
First of all, yes, it's too early to say. We have discussed it earlier. Next year you have 8-9 states going to polls.
Right.
Where you have a direct fight between in most of the states, there's a direct fight between the BJP and the Congress, or BJP and some other regional parties. AAP is nowhere in the picture among the states which are going to polls next year. So this entire narrative that the AAP would start building after this round of elections, that narrative will start changing next year, because the entire year people will be talking about the BJP, the Congress, other say TRS, and northeastern parties like NPP, how they perform. If the AAP is able to make forays into some of these states in the next few months.
Right.
See, next round of elections you have in February, where you have Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Tripura going to polls. AAP is nowhere there. AAP does not have time to actually do much in those states. Then you have Karnataka in May. Again, AAP does not have much time to make its impact felt. Then, say in November, December, when you have these big states going to polls, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Telangana, if the AAP is able to make its presence felt, even in one of the states, say Rajasthan for instance, that may change the narrative, but it will also depend on how Congress performs. Because if Congress is able to perform better than what it has been doing since 2019 in some of these states, Congress has a good chance in Karnataka and Chhattisgarh. Maybe it does better in some other states. If Congress performs well, then again this question of who the principal challenge is won't be there.
Right. Sukriti, you followed as I said, the Aam Aadmi Party campaign quite closely. Arvind Kejriwal was quite busy with Gujarat also. So he was not able to devote as much time to Delhi. I mean, this is what we have also reported. So who were the Aam Aadmi Party faces? Were these the local leaders who were, leading the campaign? Or were these the MLAs? I mean, I know Durgesh Pathak is there, Saurabh Bhardwaj, Raghav Chadda. Did they sort of lead the campaign, or was it all volunteer based?
So all the top leadership was there. Manish Sisodia,
right?
He held a lot of Jan Samvads. Gopal Rai. He also, he was there. They were at the top. And it's not true that Kejriwal wasn't there at all.
Right.
He was campaigning in Gujarat for most of the period. But in the last 2 days, he came and he targeted very specific groups, like the RWA meeting that he had on the second last day.
Right.
Then on the last day also, he spent the last moments of the campaigning period to talk to the traders. It was a proper, an interactive sessions that he had. And traders which had traditionally been called the voter base for the BJP. So he had tried to quote them. He came out with the 10 guarantees of de-sealing shops or whatever was that the traders wanted.
The core areas.
The core
yeah.
areas. So he was really trying to get that voter base as well, and to give so much time to them, even though despite slum dwellers, as some people call, is his voters base, is the voters base, but he has tried to quote the traders. And so yeah, Kejriwal was there. And then yes, there were other leaders as well who have been doing all the sort of nukkad sabhas as nukkad sabhas. Then there was the other sorts of public meetings that they were doing. And yes, Kejriwal's work is what they kept at the forefront.
Just like BJP concentrates on Modi, they were concentrating
so that
on
was
Kejriwal.
a similarity there. Even in the billboards, if you see that Kejriwal's face is the one that is there for the MCD election.
Right. So, sir, one of the criticism that has come for the BJP, and if even we have reported about it, is that, their entire campaign was very negative in terms of targeting Kejriwal or targeting Satyendra Jain. The videos that were leaked every day, there used to be several press conferences by BJP leaders. And, one section within the BJP itself was saying that, we should be talking about the alternative that we will give to Delhi rather than just criticizing, leaders for corruption or morality. So do you think that, as far as strategy of the BJP is concerned for these elections, they could have done better?
I don't know. I cannot say anything definitively on this because the results
are still analyzed. Yeah.
When you analyze results, BJP getting even 104 seats is a big surprise for me.
Right.
Even for the BJP leaders, it's a surprise. And AAP was expecting over 150 seats.
Right. And even the exit polls had predicted a complete sweep.
So it's very difficult to be, dismissive about the BJP's strategy. But the fact is, yes, in the national capital, those strategies are not known to work. What we have seen in the assembly elections, what we have seen in the municipal corporation election this time.
Right.
In Lok Sabha elections, of course, it works because the BJP has been sweeping all the Lok Sabha seats in Delhi for the last two elections.
Right.
But having said that, let me come to another aspect of this entire election. AAP may be very euphoric about the results, wresting MCD from the BJP, vanquishing the largest party in India, the most powerful party in India, in the national capital. That's all fine.
Right.
But then winning MCD polls also means what you call responsibility without power.
Right.
Because if you look at the fund crunch that MCD has been facing, and especially if you look at the Delhi Municipal Corporation Amendment Act, which was cleared by the Parliament. Earlier this year. Now that act reduces the role of the state government drastically. For instance, it's all about funds. Usually earlier also the center used to grant funds. Under the 15th Finance Commission, you have this.
Right.
14th Finance Commission, you have these provisions for, these many funds have to be given to states. Of course, the state, in context of Delhi, it passes on to the municipal corporation. But there was a lot of complaints about the center not giving those funds to Delhi. If the center, although these municipal corporations have their own sources of revenue, say through property tax, professional tax, all these things are there, but they're not adequate enough to actually meet the requirements. You need central funds. So while you're talking about double engine in the municipal corporation, that those funds can really start hurting you. Then the powers, say for instance, if there is an allegation of appropriation of funds or corruption, what the Municipal Corporation Act did, that if there is any such complaint against a councillor or the municipal corporation employees, the sanction has to be given by the central government. So even if you have your own mayor, own committee chairpersons, if you want to take any action against any of the employees, then you will have to get the sanction from the central government. That would mean that what is happening in Delhi, the bureaucracy, the employees, they may not be cooperating much with the political executive in the municipal corporation. That will make the running of this corporation very difficult. So you will have another round of, a constant clashes between the center and the Delhi UT government. There are many other powers. Say, for instance, they don't need the sanction of the state government to even change building bylaws.
Right.
So they are all these difficulties are there, where the employees may not be cooperating with you, even if you have the mayor, because employees, I mean, whatever happens to them depends on the central government. You may not have the funds. On the other hand, while you are going to face all these problems, you have to meet other criteria, what I call responsibility.
Right.
Now, if you're running the municipal corporation, you have to take care of the parks also, you have to take care of street lights, roads, garbage, because people will be judging you there.
Yes.
This is where you have to perform. And on the other hand, you have all the challenges. So that's why I'm calling responsibility without power. So euphoria is fine, but realities there are going to start biting very soon.
Yeah, as Sukriti also mentioned, this double engine is there, but that double engine also comes with responsibilities. I mean, so far the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, you know, they always pass the buck for upkeep of roads or waterlogging, or, you know, if there is an outbreak of dengue, right? Now, from now onwards, it is the Aam Aadmi Party which will have to take complete responsibility of these issues.
And then Aam Aadmi Party has to depend on the centre
for the funds.
Hand-holding, for cooperation, to run everything.
Right.
Imagine BJP losing this MCD election. They are already on collision course have been on the collision course with the Aam Aadmi Party government. After this loss, when Aam Aadmi Party is running the MCD, you can imagine what kind of cooperation will be there between the centre and the UT government.
I'll take one more question from our member. He wants to know, will this result have any impact on report card of existing MPs, and central leadership might replace them with new candidates?
Not really, because we have seen in Delhi, of course, say what you tell me, in fact, that in Meenakshi
Gautam Gambhir has done well, Meenakshi Lekhi has not done.
BJP has not done very well. In Pravesh Verma's constituency, BJP has not done very well. But then as MPs, they are pretty vocal, they have their own base. So this time the voting was not for the MPs' performance.
Correct.
It was for the welfare schemes, what you call freebies by the Aam Aadmi Party government. People have opted for that. And the BJP has been able to largely retain its core support base. So I don't think there will be any punishment. But yes, as for the state leadership goes, I would like to see what the BJP does with the organizational leadership here.
Right. Just to add to that, at the same time, you know, in the meetings that BJP MPs had with the central leadership, they had pointed out that they were not on a very strong, you know, footing. And though they were able to sort of improve their performance in the past few days, there were road shows by, you know, chief ministers of various states, union ministers. So that did give their campaign some sort of the much needed boost. But at the same time, the centre needs to take a call now, is what the BJP leaders are telling us, on the state leadership, because there has been too much infighting, groupism, and they're not able to somehow, you know, give the kind of alternative that, you know, people of Delhi probably are looking for. But at this,
No, please go ahead.
No, but at the same time, as you're rightly saying, that crossing 100 in itself is a big, you know, win for the BJP also. They will not officially might accept it, but when you talk to them unofficially, they were not quite certain of crossing the 100 mark.
And our viewers should actually read your copy on BL Santosh. Just a question related to the last one, in fact. Now, BL Santosh, his National General Secretary organization, it's the first election he was directly supervising everything, because all top BJP leaders were busy first in Himachal, then in Gujarat. They didn't have time, although you did see some CMs coming here and campaigning. But this entire MCD campaign was being supervised by BL Santosh. It was his first test in a way.
Right.
I'm not sure how the Prime Minister will be looking at these results in terms of BL Santosh's performance.
Right. We don't have much time, but there are two more questions for you, DK sir. I have to take them. Hitesh, who is a member, wants to know, do you think if BJP sweeps Gujarat and Himachal, BJP may hand over the CM chairs to new leader like Harsh Sanghvi or Anurag Thakur, because BJP now lacks mass leaders in these states and CMs are not popular?
If BJP sweeps, I'm not sure about Himachal. Exit polls are telling you something different about Gujarat. But anyway, it's a hypothetical question. But coming to that, I know immediately there won't be any change, because Amit Shah has already declared that Bhupinder Patel will continue in Gujarat. And Nadda had declared much earlier that Jairam Thakur will continue in Himachal Pradesh. So immediately there may not be any change.
But later
on, maybe after a year or so, if the BJP decides to go for a leadership change,
right,
we'll see.
And I'll end with this last question. Unnati and DK sir, if you could answer. Nishchay Singh wants to know, is soft Hindutva politics benefiting the Aam Aadmi Party? Whom do Muslims of Delhi vote, Congress or AAP? You had visited a number of Muslim-dominated seats, and if you could also share your
So
thoughts.
if you look at the MCD results, you see Congress has already won 7 seats. Probably it's
They definitely won around 5-6, but
7
yeah.
or 8, 9. Last time we
Overall,
looked at the
yes,
results,
yes.
they may get 9 seats. Out of that, 5 seats are in Muslim-dominated constituencies.
Right.
So somewhere there is, there are signs of uneasiness or disillusionment with the Aam Aadmi Party. So it had soft Hindutva politics has worked for the AAP overall, but somewhere there is some kind of unease in the Muslim community about this AAP electoral tactic, which you have seen in these results. So as you yourself were reporting, out of about 21 Muslim-dominated seats in these MCD polls, 11 have been won by AAP, but 5 have been won by the Congress. Overall, you look at the Congress performance, Congress is nowhere in this election. It's totally decimated.
Right.
But getting
The
5 out of
support.
your 9 councillors from Muslim-dominated constituencies shows that the Congress, despite not
Being in the race.
not being in the race, Congress is kind of gaining some traction, or getting back its Muslim support base in the national capital.
Can I interject?
Yes,
in that?
please.
I actually visited the Jama Masjid ward, and the Congress was campaigning on these issues. They made Muslim issue as a part of their campaign, where they said, ki, how are you, this will be very disappointing if you'll bring AAP to power, because it's the same Kejriwal who didn't say anything when the rapist, the rapist of Bilkis Bano was released. He was the one who made their Tablighi Jamaat infamous. He was the one who didn't say anything on Delhi riots or when the Shaheen Bagh protest happened.
This is what the people are telling me.
Yeah. No, this was the Congress campaign. That is what they were saying. When I talked to the people, obviously that became, this was something which they agreed with the Congress campaigner when he said, ki, Kejriwal did all these things. Even in the ward, Subhash Mohalla, which is where they had a AAP councillor before. So when I talked to the voters there, they were like, ki, work is not an issue, but because this ward is a Muslim dominated, we wanted a candidate from our community. Like there should have been representation. So there were Muslim wards which were not happy for AAP for a number of reasons. Mainly were these, obviously, that he didn't say anything during Delhi riots, or he said ki Shaheen Bagh mein, if I had the power, I would have, get the protesters out. So there was disappointment that I could see among the voters from these wards.
Unnati, would you like to add?
Just aside, just to inform the viewers, the BJP fielded 4 Muslim candidates.
Pasmanda candidates, yes.
All of them have lost.
All of them have lost, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And as and I also saw that some of the people from Muslim community who were not sure, they were sure that they were not going to vote for the BJP, that they told, but they were either going to vote for Kejriwal or Congress. So I think
So that dilemma was
vote
there.
has also been divided from the Muslim community.
Well, thank you so much for this detailed analysis. This is all I have for now, but please do read our stories on the municipal elections on our website. At the same time, we will be going live tomorrow also, tracking the Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh results.